Okay. You have to open their cameras again because I started the recording. I'm unmuting the people now.
Good morning. We are going to start the webinar. We'll start also sharing first slide, but we are going also to wait for a couple of minutes. Welcome to Impetus Partners. Let's see if also people from other institutions come. So we're waiting just a couple of minutes to start, okay? Okay, meanwhile, we will still wait another minute. Just let me know, let you know that the meeting is being recorded, okay? So if that you are aware. So I will start at 35, another minute, and we will start. There's some interesting information to be shared today. Let's see if somebody else joins. Okay, it's 11:35 here in Spain. So let's start. Yeah, there we are very few people today. Let's see what we can change together today. So in any case, the session will be recorded and shared. So welcome everybody. Today the session is about in the scope of impetus and the regional innovation packages for adaptation. So I'm not alone here. I am together with Sebastiano and Chiara Castellani from Thetis, and also together with Ivan Cester and myself from Eurecat. Then let's go on. So the structure of the session is the following one. So I'm just doing the welcome and a brief introduction to impetus. Ivan will explain us how some of the digital platforms of the project, mainly the ERCABs, you will learn more about. And then the innovation packages, which is the key part on the session today, are being explained by Chiara and Sebastiano. And finally, there is a Q&A session where we expect to share feedback with you. So for the people who doesn't know, Impetus is being demonstrated in 7 demo sites along Europe. And we are tackling different climate risks in each of the demo sites, the ones that are more representative on each demo site. Then it's important also to say that we are 32 partners along 9 countries. Then what's Impetus? So a part of these 7 demonstration sites that are helping us to validate and also to stay in contact with regional stakeholders. So Impetus is providing a multi-scale and multi-level cross-sectoral framework. Our main approach is at regional level, but we also are in contact with local authorities and national regulations. And this is a plural sector approach, because some of our solutions are being affected and affecting different sectors like agricultural, energy, or health, and so on. So one of our also important concepts and approach are the RKBs, which have a human and digital side. This will be better explained by Ivan later. And also our innovation packages that we have one per each demo site, which are, I defined a compendium of assets at regional level, okay? Finally, it's also important to stress our stakeholder engagement activities, where we have been able also to engage more than 400 different stakeholders. Just also to highlight some of our results. So in the project we have we are approaching the end of the project. It will be running until the end of the year. So more 64 exploitable results are identified. 22 of them are key exploitable results with a business plan behind. We have developed these 7 innovation packages, and what we also have collected all of them in what we call the Impetus platform, based on a RAG, which is an AI agent, on our marketplace of all these exploitable results mapped there, the calendar of workshops, and so on. So you have here also some statistics about data topology and so on. And also stress that most of the results have a high TRL, even 9 TRL, which is the highest one. Then why we are here? So today we want to present to you the concept of the innovation packages. In Impetus, we will explain to you, my colleagues will explain to you what they compose, and also finally, what we also expect more is to gather feedback from you about what we will explain today. So with this, I leave the floor to my colleague Ivan, who will start explaining to you the RKBs.
Hello, thank you everyone. I'm going to try to take control of the presentation. I think it will work. Okay, so I'm going to try to be a bit brief, because the central topic today is the innovation packages. But I think it's interesting to know a bit what is the RKBs, that it's a resilience knowledge booster. So a knowledge booster can be many things. It's just an entity that helps to boost the knowledge. So basically it can be, I don't know, a library can be a knowledge booster. Community of experts can be a knowledge booster. There are different ways you can use to try to make your knowledge to reach more people or be more effective. So in the context of Impetus project, we came up with this definition. So the knowledge booster has 2 dimensions here. One is the human dimension. So it's the community of actors that can be stakeholders, can be scientists, can be policy advocates. And there's a digital dimension too, that it's all the digital platforms, tools that can be used to transfer this knowledge, but also to make easier to share data knowledge. So basically, I won't read the definition. You have it in the slides, and I will talk about the digital dimension, which basically comprises three different elements. One is this AI agent that Josep was already mentioning, that can be used to access all the information through natural language, a multi-sided platform that it's a marketplace where many of the results, tools, guidelines are accessible, and the RKB's digital platform that contains information of specific demo sites. So it's divided in three different sections, seven different sections that correspond to the seven geographical regions. So let's see if I can change the slide. I don't know how to do that. Okay. So just to talk briefly about the agent, we all know what it is right now, the large language models that you can ask questions or you can interact with natural language, which makes it accessible, the information accessible to many different profiles, because you can use your own language to your own way of explaining, asking, or gathering information. So basically, you can ask any question that you want. And what is interesting about that compared to other type of large language models is that the knowledge base is custom. So in this case, we can the agent uses all the documents that have been approved in Impetus as interesting to be shared. So when you ask a question, instead of going to the internet, it uses these documents. So basically, when you ask a question, the agent makes a summary of what it's relevant based on all the documents it can search, but it also provides reference to the original document. So if you want to go into detail and see what the experts wrote exactly, you can track them and you can consult them. The second platform is the RKB's platform. So this platform basically is a hub for all 7 demo sites. So each demo site has a standalone, let's say, because they have their own URL. You can share only one single demo site, let's say, but everything is centralized through this homepage. So it's showcasing the results, the work that it's being carried out. Not all of the work, but what it's specific to the region. So these RKBs have been co-created. There's different layers of communication. Stakeholders communicate with demo sites communicate with the developers, and we've been trying to do something that makes information more accessible, and you can use it to show reports, guidelines. There's the adaptation pathways. You can access the innovation packages that will be explained later, so I won't go ahead into details. And there's some interactivity that can make easier to understand data, to understand complex information. So the idea is that this allows a broader audience and is interaction with stakeholders. So if you go to one specific RKB, there are 4 basic sections. Not all RKBs have the same sections. The solutions, introduction, adaptation pathways, and innovation packages is in all RKBs. A couple of them also have a survey that is online, so people can answer questions and you can gather information about their solutions or whatever topic it's interesting to share with the public. So the introduction talking about the introduction, basically it provides an overview with the climate hazards, impacts, and the specific challenges that the region is facing. In the solution section, there are different things that can be used here. So every partner, every different task has different needs. So for instance, this is an example of data analytics that is monitoring different sensors that are monitoring the quality of the water in a water treatment plant. This is not online right now because the sensors are not active anymore. But anyway, we made a dashboard that can serve as an example of how this was working and how this could be extended, how it can be improved. So most of the things can be just proofs of concepts that can help partners to explain what is feasible and how to go to a more advanced version. There are other tools that are less into the data, but they show, for instance, here we have some maps about what is for different climate scenarios, the expected habitat in a specific region for a specific type of birds. So we see that for our CP 8.5, in the long term, the habitat for this bird is going to decrease a lot. It's something easy to understand and to show to non-technical experts. There are other ones that might provide data, but also some context, some text. So make it, the goal is the same, to make it available, easily available, interactive, and easy to share with different types of target audience. And there's also some partners have solutions that are more mature, that are in a second phase, that they provide already a functional platform. For instance, in this case, there's a platform that helps to monitor in real time what is happening in a seaward mining. So the platform has a higher TRL. So it's a standalone platform. So the Knowledge Booster provides some context about what this is and provides the link to the platform. So for instance, this one from the Mediterranean demo site leads you to a digital twin with 3D models, with data analytics. I won't get into details about that. The goal is to understand what the Knowledge Booster is. Then there's another section that is the adaptation pathway maps. This is pretty complex, and sometimes it's difficult to understand if you're not really into the topic, but I think it's a very interesting concept. So here, for instance, we have one specific index that can increase, decrease. It can evaluate what will be the status of the water supply system in Berlin. So, and the different kind of measures that you can use to decrease this risk. I won't get into details because Sebastiano and Chiara will talk about that, but we provide this interactive visualization that has can be embeddable in other platforms. It can be embedded in a PowerPoint, for instance, but it's not straightforward. It needs a specific plugin, so I didn't do that because I didn't know if that would work in any computer. But it's possible to embed this in a web page or in a presentation. It allows you to have some extra information because the charts are not easy to read. So there's an info button where you can add any information that you believe it's interesting to make it more accessible to any kind of public. Finally, well, not finally, there's also these surveys that are custom surveys for the demo site that requested that. So you can ask questions to open questions to your audience, and you will have the results of all the questionnaire with graphics and automatically displayed. And finally, there's the innovation packages. The innovation packages it's what we're going to talk later. It's like a summary of all the important things that happen at regional level. So there's 7 different innovation packages. Each RKB has its own section with a small summary, so you can understand what happened there. But if you want to go into detail, the full document will be available to download. And for the moment, it's under review. The RKBs as well, and these documents. So the final version will be available soon when the review process is finished. And finally, there's this marketplace that it's the Impetus platform that Josep also talked about. And this includes not only things that are related with the specific work in the region, but also transversal tools that can be applicable beyond the demo sites. So it makes accessible all the work to the general public. It has some advanced filtering options. So depending on your profile, depending on your interest, you can filter all the results, because there's a lot of results in Impetus project, and that makes it easier to serve it. For example, a transversal tool is, just to make a quick example, it's the HIPS tool that was developed by NTUA, and that provides, it helps to identify and prioritize European regions to most vulnerable to specific indexes related with specific climate hazard or impacts, etc. So this is an example of something that you can find through the Impetus market. And basically that's it. I don't want to take too much time because, Sebastiano and Chiara will talk more about, well, I think I don't forget anything. Yeah, this is already about the regional innovation packages. So please, if you want to take the floor. I hope this was clear. If you have some questions, you can put them in the chat and we will answer them in the end, unless it's something very specific because something is not understandable. But that is the idea for the session today, to answer all the questions in the end. So Sebastiano, Chiara, if you can go on.
Thank you, Ivan. We are now moving from resilience knowledge boosters to regional innovation packages. I'm Chiara Castellani, and I will present what are the innovation packages for the Impetus project and the methodology we use to produce these packages, while we will see more concrete examples of these packages in the presentation that will come after me. What are regional innovation packages? Let's figure out a box where we can put inside resilience knowledge boosters. So what Ivan just presented in the previous presentation. We will put inside also adaptation pathways. As you know, all the Impetus demonstration sites prepared and assessed together stakeholders alternative adaptation pathways to address a specific climate risk they consider particularly relevant for their region. And we also put inside the complete portfolio of solutions that have been considered during the project. These solutions includes the solutions that were implemented or at least tested in a pilot area during the project, but also solutions that are not implemented yet in the region, but that were discussed with stakeholders and deeply assessed for their potential relevance if they would be implemented in the region. So these are these 3 components of the regional innovation packages, and we think that if we deliver this package to relevant authorities, we can facilitate adaptation. And authorities can be regional or local public authorities that are involved in the adaptation process. They can be also water management utilities, or they can be advisory agencies that support these authorities in the adaptation process. I cannot move my slide. Okay. At the end, the regional innovation packages are synthesis documents that include all the measures results that are in the Impetus project, but they also include an evaluation of the results achieved so far. So they try to understand what is the usability, the exploitation potential of all these tools that we have used in the project. What are the major gaps and needs? For example, things that could be done better, or challenges to translate theoretical ideas and approaches into concrete commitments, and an evaluation about the potential of what we have done for fostering transformational adaptation. About this last topic, we reflected internally about this meaning of transformational adaptation. You might know that it is defined by the IPCC as an adaptation that will result in significant changes in structure or function and go beyond adjusting existing practices. So this is something that go beyond traditional and mostly used incremental adaptation. A quite extensive body of literature try to define and to reason around this concept, defining transformational adaptation as comprehensive, holistic approach with a long-term effect, with durable results, which is producing a radical shift, path shifting, and innovative approach, and with important aspect about the equity of the measures that are part of transformation, and that will produce changes across several domains. If you can see this picture that is taken from a policy brief about transformational adaptation, you can see in the upper part an image that represents incremental adaptation, where the blue blocks represent the adaptation measures that are progressively added to the system without altering the whole shape of the system, and potentially leading to some inequalities, leaving some people, more vulnerable people, behind. While in the bottom part, you can see that transformational adaptation can change the complete shape of the system with a high attention to cross-sectoral linkages and with a completely inclusive approach. So this is the theory about transformational adaptation, and we found that innovation packages, so the innovation component of innovation packages should include this concept of transformation, because it is a novelty approach. It is a new attitude towards adaptation. But innovation packages also relate to the use of data-driven and digital technologies. In the Impetus project, we have a lot of tools, digital tools, and there was an extensive use of digital technologies. Demo sites worked with digital twins, with models to understand, anticipate some risks, and with the digital decision support systems. And finally, innovation is also related to give more room, more space for governance, finance, and knowledge that are the three key enabling conditions recognized by the IPCC. So not only structural measures that not only physical measures, but also measures in these domains that can accelerate and enable adaptation. For delivering these innovation packages, we elaborated 2 questionnaires, one for the adaptation pathways and the second one for the resilience knowledge boosters. And these questionnaires were circulated among demo site leaders, and they responded to these questionnaires after consultation with stakeholders. Stakeholders were involved from the beginning of the project, and demo site leaders were able to collect this general feedback coming from stakeholders. And we asked about 3 major things: the exploitation potential. So if these tools, the resilience knowledge boosters or the adaptation pathways, are receiving interest from stakeholders, and if there were any concrete opportunities to use these tools in their regions. For example, adaptation pathways can be used in the regional planning, in the adaptation, adaptation strategies or plans, in the decision-making process. We also asked about gaps and needs, so the major challenges that were encountered, and what is the suggestions from stakeholders about to improve the RKBs or the knowledge path, or the adaptation pathways. And at the end, we asked about to do a sort of self-assessment of how far we are from achieving transformational adaptation. So where we stand in this transition from incremental towards transformational adaptation. And we made a sort of checklist, some key questions that were supposed to stimulate reflection inside the demo site teams about what is missing for achieving transformational adaptation in demo site regions. And finally, we put together all the solutions that came from the Impetus project. As I mentioned before, these solutions come from what has been tested during the project in the demo site areas, but also solutions not implemented yet, but anyway discussed and deeply evaluated. These are the criteria we use for evaluate adaptation, the various adaptation solutions. I will not read all these criteria, but I think that we try to make really comprehensive evaluation of all the solutions, trying to identify co-benefits, but also limiting factors, side effects, the implementation times, the costs, synergies with mitigations, and gaps and needs for their real implementation in the study areas. So finally, what we expect from regional innovation packages is to facilitate mutual learning about demo sites, because there is the possibility to compare in different solutions that face different climate risks. We also aim to facilitate replication of this concept to other areas, or upscale to larger areas, and to highlight also major limiting or success factors. Stimulating this discussion about incremental and transformational adaptation. So I think I will stop here. Let Sebastiano to continue.
Okay. Thank you, Chiara. I am Sebastiano Carrer, and I will proceed right away in order to save time. So we have seen that regional innovation packages can add value to several processes, like participatory process, decision-making and planning process. They favor also the concrete implementation of the solutions, since we have this assessment of the available solutions, we have tested the solutions, and at the end they help also the communication processes. And actually, in our project, besides elaborating the usual deliverable that would incorporate all the information that we produce about innovation packages, we have also decided to produce 7 how can we change the okay, 7 booklets that synthesize the information contained in the old package, the old information that Chiara presented. We have produced 7 booklets each for each of the 7 demo sites that are at the backbone of our project: Berlin, Catalonia, Attica regions, Norway, the region of Troms and Finnmark, Zeeland and Rijnmond region in the Netherlands, Zemgara region in Latvia, and Valle dei Laghi mountain region in Italy. And following, I will try to present the content of these innovation packages, taking advantage of these synthetic booklets, and I will also really show some extracts of the document. The document in general is about a 30-page document for each demo site. There is an introduction that, let's say, there is a how to read the document. There is a description of an introduction of the climate risks that is the region is facing. And then we have 3 sections corresponding to the 3 components of innovation packages: the resilience knowledge boosters, the adaptation pathways, and the portfolio of solution. And for each of solution section, as Chiara explained it, there's a part of the presentation of the contents, the information, the synthesis, and another part of evaluation. And we are evaluating the exploitation potential, the gaps in it, and the transformational potential. 3 similar sections. This is the extract of the part of the document where we present the evaluation of the resilience knowledge boosters. For the exploitation potential, we evaluated the stakeholder interest that was received, the strength factors, the particular strength factors of the platform, and the opportunities for use and replication of these knowledge boosters. And we asked also to score each of the features that we propose to characterizing the platform. And in general, make an analysis across all demo sites. We got as a feedback that there's a good exploitation potential of this platform, and in particular, the stakeholder showed a very high interest in this, let's say, in this tool. We investigated also the gaps and needs, asking to stakeholders and people involved in the surveys to highlight some challenges that the knowledge booster can face. And then we grouped all these challenges in different, according to different typology: finance, capacity, the governance or knowledge that is connected to data availability, scenarios, and so on. And we also asked how we can improve this system. In general, the challenges highlighted how finance and capacity could be the most important challenges to face to further implement and replicate the resilience knowledge boosters. Regarding the transformational potential, we asked to evaluate the different features that Chiara presented, that regarding transformational adaptation, the scope of change, the depth of change, the inclusivity, temporality, and again, a good transformational potential was received among all the demo sites, and the highest score were received by the factor highlighting the co-development, and then the stakeholder engagement, the fact that this platform was firstly developed involving people, and secondly can still favor and boost the co-design of solution. And then it's flexibility, both because it is this platform can manage changing climatic condition, can also manage different type of sources of information. As you have seen, people and practitioners are very free in uploading and downloading different type of information. Regarding the adaptation pathways, this is, let's say, the main components of adaptation pathways. We have produced a specific document that will be soon available in Impetus website regarding the elaboration of adaptation pathways facing a specific climate risk in each of the 7 demo sites. It is a stepwise methodology to produce the adaptation pathways, but the backbone consists of elaborating a conceptual model of your system, an impact chain model that, let's say, consider the different risk factors, hazard impacts, exposure, vulnerability, and how they are related and producing the risk that we are facing. And then the idea is that to identify solutions that can mitigate these risk factors, to evaluate the tipping points in the region and also indicator of your risk, and see how the solution can impact on your indicator. At the end, you can sequence your adaptation solutions and see how they, according to different scenarios, different political choices, how they can impact your path toward adaptation. And in the resilience and the innovation packages, we have a synthesis of the story of the elaboration of adaptation pathways for each of the demo sites. And regarding the evaluation of this approach, the exploitation potential we consider still is very good. There is a very high interest from stakeholders. Maybe the opportunities to implement are a little lower, even if they remain good. But of course, it's an approach demanding quite important an effort. Considering the challenges, it's interesting that in this case we have the reverse compared to the resilience knowledge boosters, because the most important challenge is the governance, because we are dealing with planning, decision making, coordinating different actors, institutions, practitioners, scientists, and then the knowledge, because when we have to really make a plan, we have to know the scenarios, models, impacts of different solutions, and so on. Regarding the transformational potential, the most appreciated features regard the fact that doing adaptation pathway, you have to adopt a holistic perspective, and then you are forced to include different society sectors. And the other aspect that was considered is that this approach is quite new and interesting for future adaptation processes. We asked also to think which sectors could be more impacted by the adaptation pathway studies and implementation, and in general, at least 3, but up to all 6 sectors, environment, society, economy, technology, institutional, and individual behavior of the citizen can be impacted by this approach. Regarding the portfolio solution evaluation, I will not present the assessment of all the criteria that Chiara presented. I will focus on the transformational potential. As you can see, we asked also to score the different solution according to all the transformational criteria, criteria. In general, among all the demo side, we receive a feedback considering that this solution, the set of solutions that we have analyzed, tested in impetus, or available in the region in some way, it's quite responsive to changing climate conditions. They are easily scalable. That is the very important factors to spread the adaptation, and they are inclusive, especially thanks to the co-development approach that we try to disseminate in each step of our work. And most impacted sectors by this set of solutions are technological, environmental, institutional, because we included not only structural but also non-structural measure in the analysis. At the end, just to conclude, the innovation packages synthesize all the results achieved at demo site level within the Impetus project. They are a compendium of information, tools, and solutions available at the regional level. They were co-developed with local relevant stakeholders. They are harmonized with many strategic and regulatory documents, especially elaborating the adaptation pathway. We ask to make a reference to all the documents available, and they target in particular institutions, utilities, scientists, and general practitioners that will deliver strategies, policies, innovation, and concrete solutions. The next steps, and then we arrive to the end, we foresee to spread this approach and products and receive feedbacks in order to derive lessons that will be useful to favor replication and upscaling. That is our really final goal. I'm done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sebastiano. Maybe you can release the control, I can take it. So yeah, now it's the time for the feedback, if I'm not wrong. So if you have some questions, I see the chat, but there is no questions. Now I think we can allow you to ask questions if some of you have. So don't be shy. Meanwhile, yeah, you can just, I think, raise your hand or whatever and ask the questions for anyone. Meanwhile, I will just also suggest you to follow the link or just use this QR code for going into a survey that we have prepared also to get feedback from you. It's also important for the project, your opinions, and so please, meanwhile you enter to the survey, I don't know if Ivan, you can share the link, or I think I have it from previous. Yeah, let me also share it. The link of the survey here in the chat, so you can also. Yeah,
I just shared. Yeah. Well.
Yeah. That now you have repeated 3 times. It's okay. So yeah, you can go inside, and meanwhile I will ask a question maybe to. Just meanwhile we prepare and you are able to answer the survey, to Chiara and Sebastiano, who have been the key people leading this process of preparing the innovation packages. So if you can switch on your cameras and answer. So from your perspective, so which has been the most challenging step in the process? And also that could also be useful for further replication, or maybe someone here that could listen or could see afterwards the video, which is the most challenging step to prepare these innovation packages.
Woman first.
Thank you. I think the major challenging step was the preparation of the adaptation pathways. That is a key component of innovation packages, because it took really a huge amount of effort in preparing this activity. But I think the results are promising, And so we were encouraged to continue in our research in adaptation pathways because we think that is really a good approach. Another challenging step was to put everything together in something that can be useful, and to put the right questions to demo site leaders and to stakeholders to really get the right feedback.
Thank you, Chiara.
It's always difficult to add to Chiara speeches, but actually, what is difficult also it is to talk with people coming from different backgrounds and try to let them focus on these specific activities that maybe sometimes they were not acquainted in. But the good point is that we registered an evolution during the process, because not easy to, let's say, turn your interest and efforts in what you are doing, maybe in a specific solution, and try to open the perspective. But I think that the effort is worth. So that was the difficult step.
Nice. Thank you for your answers. So yeah, maybe we can see if people has been able to enter into the survey. Yeah, so here I hope that you can see it. Yeah, there has been 3 questions. So the survey, we will keep it open. I think that after this session we can upload the video and also the survey, at least during a couple of I don't know, weeks, to get more feedback for people that I think that were registered that maybe at the end was not able to attend. So the first question is about which is the IP section you consider more interesting. At the moment is yeah, there are 50% each, adaptation pathways, maps, and the portfolio of solutions. It's good to know. We have also now 4 answers, which is not bad for the people that we are here. Then the other question is, what is the biggest potential of innovation packages in your regions? The highest impact answer is about the knowledge transfer, but also the practical application decision making. Yeah, I think that there are opportunities for any of these answers. There is also the option in the form to add. Now we have all suggested answers, the stakeholder engagement too. But there is also an open possibility. So now we have 5 answers. Let's see. Yeah, adaptation pathways now it's moved to 60. Okay, different opinions. And let's see, as a barriers, we have also asked to you to highlight barriers on the preparation and on what you think that could be barriers on the adoption and implementation of these innovation packages. I see political engagement, multiple actors, not enough data. That's an issue very, very frequent. An effort, maybe resources means that limited amount of resources, complex interaction, that's true, and the procedures and tools. Yeah, for this, maybe procedures and tools. Yeah, I also open political engagement. This seems that is more highlighted because maybe it's highlighted by some of you. Yeah. So yeah, this is some feedback from you. I think that more or less we are achieving the end. So like I said, we will share the survey and the presentation. I'm coming back to the presentation. I think that there is one last slide. For me, I need to thank to all the participants in this workshop, mainly the speakers, Ivan, Chiara, and Sebastiano, for the preparation of this material, for the effort behind. Okay, so this is the result of a very brave effort during this last year of the project, and they have been not alone. So there are here also some key representatives as demo site leaders that have been helping them to prepare all this material. As said by my colleagues, this material, these innovation packages will be open and publicly very, very soon. They are in the review process. So I hope that you will be, if you follow our networks in LinkedIn or Twitter, you can see where is the delivery date. And I don't know if any of the speakers want to have a last words to the audience or for the future if they are view it.
Just a couple of things. Well, the links will be shared with this presentation later to the platforms. So they are not included here because they are in review process. But I think when we share the presentation, we can add the slide with all the links. That's what we talked yesterday with Chiara and Sebastiano. And I also wanted to make a very brief comment and doubt also something to reflect on. I think the work that Thetis has done is very impressive from my point of view. And I think it's very complex because you need information from many different types of actors. And my question is a bit, I think this can serve as an inspiration for sure to replicate something similar, but to what extent this is feasible if you don't have the context of a big project, or if you've been working with stakeholders for several years. So if this has been complex, having already these connections made, how difficult this can be to replicate from scratch outside the umbrella of a big project. I think it can serve as inspiration, as I said, but I don't know how this could be tackled in another ecosystem. I don't know if you have any comment on that, or maybe just self-reflection for later. I don't know. That's all I wanted to say.
I think that one important point, it will be if at least some part of the resilience knowledge booster can survive after the project, because it's an important component of the innovation package. And in my view, the first target is the institution. And I think that the information is there. Now, region has a lot of information. And I think that this type of approach could be a key to go to your regional office, climate office, planning office, and look at this. We can help you put in all the information that surely you have somewhere. We can help you look at the platform, look how we can organize all the solutions that you have. We can do together a process of planning the adaptation. So I think that's a way to present the information that is already somewhere in the region knowledge.
Yeah. And I think the booklet, it's a good thing, a very nice summary that can illustrate that and can be like the entry point to the whole process.
Yeah. Good question.
Yeah, good question. I agree. I have not anything else to add. Again, thank you. Here in the slide, but also you have the emails of the people that has been presenting today for any of you that could have further questions. I think that's all for today. Let's follow us on the networks. Here you have also the our website, and yeah, let's see in the next webinar on this topic. Have a nice weekend.
And thank you for your organizer and you too, Josep. Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.